Hello and welcome, I'm Chris and this is the hair tutorial channel, and I'm going to be talking about the different types of weave you can use when you're foiling. So we'll be looking at our baby lights, our highlights and our teasy lights. Now in another video that I've done that I'll link up here, we talked about the placement of the foils, forward, back, horizontal or vertical. So today I'll not only be using different types of weave, but I'll also be using different types of foil placement on the block. And this will give you a chance to see the results. Now if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification button. And if you're coming back, it's lovely to see you. So let's just do it. So for today's placement, we're going to be using our head block. Now, obviously you can see from this head block, this is one that I have used previously to do other things, and I've simply put a global color of a 6036 over this. So today I'm going to be using my Spectrum, and again, I'll link a video below on Spectrum if you don't know what Spectrum is. And there's a number of reasons that I'm going to be using Spectrum today. First of all, it gives a lovely result, and I love Spectrum. The second reason is Spectrum has built-in toners. So as it lifts, and it will lift natural or coloured hair, it's going to tone it out to a natural result. Obviously this is a warm colour, so I could use bleach and then I could tone afterwards. However, just for convenience and for speed, I'm going to be using my Spectrum. And this brings me to my other point. Spectrum is heat activated. So obviously I shoot these videos and they can take 1 hour to 3 hours to shoot, and I have to worry about the lift and the amount of time that I have the colour on the hair if I'm using bleach. Whereas with Spectrum being heat activated and lifting in 12 minutes, yep, 12 minutes, I can complete this and not have to worry about other sections lifting, because it won't lift until I add the heat. So just one more thing, in the description box below is also a link to my website. If you go over there and subscribe, I will email you over a free set of head sheets so that you can see the sectioning pattern on this. So let's mix up our colour and get our first section done. Okay, so I've started up my sectioning, and as I've said, the head sheets are in the description below for this, by taking out a triangular section from the temple back to the crown. Now we're starting on the front, and we're going to use this section here, and we're going to do some baby lights. Now baby lights are exactly the same as highlights, but they are thinner sections and a much smaller weave. And these are ideal for giving a soft diffused line, especially on partings or around the hairline. Now, as I've said, I'm going to be using my Spectrum, and I'm going to be using my blue toner and my green toner. So with the baby lights, you just want to take a nice 1/4 inch section. Now, if you get any little hairs, you really want to avoid colouring those tiny hairs, because around the hairline is a little bit more porous. If you colour them, they're really going to stick out and they're really going to notice. Now the other thing as well is I'm going to be using my tint brush, and all I've done is actually taken my regular tint brushes that I use, and hopefully you can see that, but I've taken a pair of scissors to it, and I have basically chopped into the end of my tint brush to give it a softness, so that as I apply the colour to the root area, I'm not getting such a harsh line. If you get a harsh line, it is really going to stand out and notice. I'm not going to go too close to the foil. I'm just going to feather the colour up to the end. And then I'm going to switch my brush, and I'm actually just going to go to a normal brush, and I'm applying more colour. I'm increasing the amount of saturation. Now the reason I'm doing this is just like if we're trying to colour grey hair. If you apply more colour to the hair, whether that's tint or whether that's bleach, you're actually going to get more lift. A lot of people say they don't achieve the level of lift that they want, whether that's with colour or with bleach. And part of that can be due to the fact that you're not putting enough colour on the hair. So now I'm going to do another baby light with my green pigment using exactly the same technique. And again, I've taken a brush and I've slightly feathered the ends. Then I'm going to switch to my normal brush and increase the amount of saturation on the mid lengths and ends. Now again, we're going to repeat this process on the opposite side of the head. I would say that you would go 2 to 4 foils deep depending on how light you want the front to be. Now we're going to put in 2 baby lights here and 2 baby lights here. So we're framing the face. Exactly the same, starting with the blue, nice fine weave, and then the green. Okay, so now we've put the baby lights in all around the front of the hair. We're now going to come back to our first section and we're going to start doing back diagonal weaves. So I'm going to put a couple of normal highlights going back diagonal. Because of the sectioning pattern, our sections will start off smaller, get to larger, and then start again to reduce to smaller as we go up the head. Now another one with the green pigment. So now we're actually going to switch to slices and we're going to do teasy lights. So we're going to take a slightly larger section than normal. And now with a teasy light, all you're going to do is bring in your pintail comb from about the middle and just give one nice downward movement right to the root. And now we're going to do a normal weave. Again, your choice of weave, whether you do fine or thick, is entirely up to you. We're going lightly dusting at the top, and then on those mid-lengths and those ends, we're really saturating. Now we're going to continue to work up this section using that technique, and as we do so, we'll alternate between the blue and the green pigment. Now on our final section, and now we're going to repeat that process on the other side. Okay, now we're moving to the back of the head, and as you can see, just at the back of the head around the hairline, just like we did at the front, I've put in 2 baby lights using exactly the same technique as we did at the front. Now after we've done the baby lights around the hairline, we're just going to take out our crown area. So we're going to take vertical slices, teasing the root area, this time not weaving, to give a real bold pop of colour. So we're doing the vertical section, and pick a side that you're most comfortable on and work from that side. So we're going to backcomb this first section. We're not going to weave it. I'm going to use my feathering brush. And then I'm going to use my regular brush to really coat and saturate the mid-lengths and ends. Now keep working vertically taking sections. Okay, so we've finished at the back and we're moving round to the front again. Now we've already put our baby lights in at the front, so now we're going to put in just our normal weave highlights, and we're going to go 4 weaves on either side here, starting with our blue, then our green, blue, and then our green. Now I'm leaving some of the hair out of this, however you could continue all the way back if you wanted a blonder look to it. Okay, so we've finished. We've put our 4 highlights on each side through the front of the hair, and we have this section still left, which is going to cascade over, again breaking it up and adding softness. So now all I have to do is heat the spectrum up with a medium heat for 12 minutes, dry it, and show you what it's about. Okay, so here is our finished colour. So you can see, by controlling and understanding the direction of the foil and the type of weave we do on a foil, we can really bespoke a client's colour. So the head sheets for this are in the description and the link below if you would like to that, and I will see you next time.